how every time they see it, they're shocked. It's funny to me.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Okay, Potatoes for Seamus said Brett should have Mocha perform his LASIK.
That would not go
well.
idea.
Yeah, why would you do
I'm not
that?
doing that.
Are you getting LASIK?
With the claws?
Okay.
I would love to get LASIK, but I just hear too many
Horror stories.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said Brett finally watched The Notebook.
Because you mentioned The Notebook earlier.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
I don't think I've seen it.
I think it's the most overrated. Is it a rom-com? Most overrated chick flick
I guess it's a rom-com. Nicholas Sparks movies, are they considered they're more like romantic dramas, right?
I
don't know. I'm
guess.
not gay.
It's a chick flick, though.
Yeah.
I never liked it.
If you went to a movie like that and you're a dude, it's likely you were dragged by a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tacty Platty said, "Who's that nerd? Bet he writes for a living." Can you tell me what scanner means? Do you know?
I don't think any of us really know. It's just SCNR.
Okay, fine.
You know?
There's no answer.
Yeah, no.
Benjamin Mauser sent us a sticker. I don't know what it was, but thank you. Tacty Platty said, Big Avocado is behind global warming and fifth wave feminism.
Again?
I feel like I've heard that before. I don't know.
There's a 20 there from Rhaegar Targaryen.
Women, guys, stop acting weird, liking how we look, and never play video games. Also women, dressing like a stripper outside of Halloween and having an OF is empowering. I just purchased my 800th pair of shoes today.
I think we're going to talk about the video game thing later this week. There's you could do a whole episode.
There's
on
a
that
conversation
discussion.
there.
There's a whole conversation to be had on video games and all of that
And
stuff.
bird watching.
And taxidermy. I think that nobody who voted on that knows what taxidermy is.
Some of those I would find really interesting. Like if I like dated a guy who's really into taxidermy, I would be like, that's cool.
I mean, if you find a dude under 70 who's into bird watching, that's kind of interesting. It's actually more interesting that he's younger and into it. He likely has a great wealth of knowledge that you would never expect to find from somebody in that age.
Yeah.
It's great.
Nate said, penitence for me acting wild and getting embarrassed by Brett and Mary on the Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Oh, thought he got me on that one.
We're the pop culture experts here, so don't try to one-up us.
I never saw the Jennifer Lawrence one, so it didn't seem up my alley.
Wasn't it a horror?
It was a horror movie. It was something about like people invading her house, and it was actually like an allegory for
God or
but
something.
I think it was Darren
I don't even
Aronofsky.
know.
Yeah.
He's pretty good though.
I don't know. I haven't seen his
too art house for me most of the time.
I hate A24.
Like,
that's
it's
my hot take.
That's me and like this podcast, if it wasn't PCC, would just be called A24 Sucks Balls.
Yeah, well, Y2K, the new Rachel Zegler movie coming out in December, that's an A24 movie. So
We're gonna see that
I actually
one.
am excited to see that.
All right. Let's move on. It's time to talk about sororities have once again angered the internet.
Yeah, it's back to school season, so all of the college students are moving back into their dorms, and what that means is sorority girls are currently on recruitment campaigns. They're using TikTok and all of their coordinated dances to advertise their sororities and gain potential new members. But unfortunately, their videos are being shared on X, not the target audience that they were going for, and it's caused a huge controversy.
When you pointed out all of the stuff that goes into joining one of these groups, I was like, this is tailor-made for women and their neurotic inability to not be just busy all the time.
Well, frats do the same thing, but I'm sure it looks a lot different.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any frats doing coordinated dance routines on TikTok. So I don't know what their marketing campaigns look like.
Yeah.
But, it's all basically the same format. This is called Bama Rush. And it originally went viral in 2021 when kids were finally back at school in person and TikTok was a thing. So they started using it to market themselves. They even made a documentary about it because it's just such an interesting sociological phenomenon. I find Greek life very cultish and kind of disturbing. If any of you guys were in Greek life, please tell us about your experiences and whether it had cult-like aspects.
Which one are we supposed to watch?
Well, we can't watch any of them with the sound on because they have copyrighted music.
Of course, they're pop girlies.
But how about the Pump It Up one?
You have to let me know.
They're It's Pat McFain.
Okay,
I believe
that's the first one I've got here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, again, we can't play the music here, but here
we're not going to. Get
22 seconds.
Pump it up a little. So this is one of their recruitment videos. It's like,
it just looks like, to dudes, it's like a bunch of girls that were extremely snobby in school.
Well, that's an earned reputation for sorority girls. I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah. If you're listening to the podcast, you have no idea what we're watching.
Think about the amount of effort and coordination and planning and production value that goes into making these videos.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And the amount of money and the time that they spend, they're all like creating these videos meticulously.
I'm like, don't you have schoolwork to do?
They don't.
Okay.
I think a lot of people were actually pointing that out, like, don't send your daughters to college because this is what they're going to be doing. And if I saw my daughter in a video like this, then she would find out her bank account got shut down.
I saw that
blah,
one.
blah, blah.
I mean, if I saw this, I would think that it was right in line with what I expected from college life for somebody who wanted to join a sorority, right?
But yeah, they all, have the matching hairstyles and the matching outfits.
Like, this is where, when you think of movies like Mean Girls or movies like Clueless, where there's archetypes of women, like, actually the more annoying thing is that you're not going to see Hollywood lean into these archetypes anymore. No. They would have to subvert your expectations at every corner. Like, I don't want to see a movie where the girl who's in the sorority is actually like a 187 IQ and super smart. I want her to be kind of middling in IQ and just looking to get married.
Well, there's an idea, there's like a dichotomy that kind of has some truth in it where if you send your daughter to college, she's either going to come out of that factory line as the raging blue-haired feminist who hates her dad, or she's going to become a blown-out slut who spent all of her time going to frat parties and having sex with 20 men a night.
Look,
that's like the dichotomy that's being presented here.
There's got to be some type of middle ground, right?
Of course.
She joined a frat. She drank some beer in college. She put on 10 extra pounds her freshman year. 15 pounds her freshman year. It evened out down the line. She probably had a boyfriend the whole time.
There are a lot of other reasons you shouldn't go to college than any of that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
For instance, not going into 6 figures of debt in the first years of adulthood. But I wanted to get into the details of how this process goes because it's totally alien to me.
When she was explaining this to me, I'm like, I'm so glad that I didn't go to a 4-year college.
So this is how Rush season goes. Their potential new members, or PNMs, go to convocation where they meet for a casual introduction, and then open house. The PNMs watch a series of 5-minute long videos from each sorority to determine what their top priorities are, and they're encouraged to take notes. And philanthropy, the PNMs are given matching t-shirts, which they pair with shorts or a skirt, and visit up to 12 sorority chapters for about 30 minutes each to learn about how they contribute to the community. This begins with the invitation-only meetings. And then sisterhood, PNMs attend up to 7 different parties, which are about 40 minutes long, to get to know the active members of each chapter. And then preference night. At the most formal event of Rush, PNMs rank their top sorority choices, agreeing to accept a bid to any sorority on their list. And then sorority members also rank their own top choices for potential new members. And then bid day. The PNMs gather at the football stadium where they receive invitations or bids to join a chapter. They're encouraged to wear clothes that are easy to run in because they literally sprint to the house of the sorority which they're given a bid. They also receive a t-shirt with their sorority letters on it. And this is the whole process of initiation. And that's not even to get into like the hazing rituals probably.
Yeah, I mean, and for men with frats, like, I'm just not collectivist enough to ever join a group like this.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Most people are, though. That's the point.
I've never understood it.
I did college visits that never were worth it. And every time they explained like, oh yeah, 40% of the student body is in Greek life. Or even more. Sometimes they said it was the majority of the student body that was involved in frats and sororities. And I was like, why?
What is the point of it?
Well, they say the point of it is getting the students involved in philanthropy projects where they're like contributing to the community around them.
I never saw any of that happen.
That's supposedly the point, and it is mandatory if you're in one of these groups to do some kind of charity work. Like each one has their own philanthropy, like it could be saving the turtles, whatever. That's allegedly the point, but really the point is networking,
Yes.
you know, being like friends with this group of people that essentially you pay to be your friend, which is not to knock it. Like some people really enjoy it.
And develop lifelong friendships that actually benefit them later at work.
Yes.
I mean, but the problem is you go too far, you end up in Skull and Bones, and suddenly you're a member of a secret society running the U.S. government and ruining it for everyone.
I have heard some really insane hazing rituals in both frats and sororities. I don't know if it works that way with the majority of them.
My hot take on that is like whenever they complain about that stuff now, I'm like, oh, you wusses.
People have died. People have died though. Like I heard one.
Kids these days just don't want to try.
One of them was like a frat that this is graphic, okay? But the frat guys like jerk off into a tub of ice cream and make the
Wait, wasn't this what happened to Tim Walz?
The new guys eat it.
Isn't this what happened to Tim Walz?
I don't know. I heard something like that.
Wasn't the horse semen thing? No?
I heard something.
Okay. You know the couch sex story, right? That was
Yes.
completely fake. It was completely fabricated. So in retaliation,
Okay. They
People-
wrote a fake article? That's awesome.
I don't know if they wrote a fake article.
I
but
saw
like,
a fake article about it.
well, they probably did make a fake article.
Okay, awesome. That's even better. They put some work into it. The
Yeah.
fake news is faking.
Oh, I heard another one. You have to get inside a plastic trash bin and smoke an entire pack of cigarettes.
I'll do that one.
And then the sorority ones are always more psychologically torturous. Of course.
Which is fantastically in line with women.
Because the ice cream's not psychologically
Yeah.
torture.
There was one that was really bad. I heard this girl was tied to a chair naked, and all of the sorority girls like got around and insulted her body for like an hour.
See, this is the thing. This is the problem. The CIA should be hiring them for Gitmo.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like there is
Right?
just something.
Also, guys would totally sign up for that.
There's something about it that's just very sinister
Yeah.
in a lot of these cases, but you never know. I tried to ask a coworker in the past who was in a sorority like what her hazing rituals were. She refused to say.
Wouldn't say.
Yeah, and she said that she has a personalized paddle, like in the Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
She has a personalized paddle from her sorority sisters. So I can only assume.
I mean, all of this stuff is like
that it was
isn't
put to use.
Isn't the general idea that the more someone is degraded, the more their value to the group grows through public humiliation within the group, right?
That's how respect for men is built.
So that's the idea, right? Is like
guess.
as you're humiliated, your worth within the group is expanded.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point. I just wouldn't want, my own kid to be involved in any of that.
I mean, this conversation is going in a weird direction, but I was wondering more like, why is it that the internet gets so up in arms about girls in these videos every couple of months, right? It goes around. It's the same thing that happened, and obviously it's a little bit different when all the girls were dancing in front of the gas station, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is why society's coming to an end, because girls are dancing in front of a gas station. I see that video. I think it's cringy, but I don't really care. I don't think it's the end times because a bunch of girls got together. I'm actually more surprised these videos aren't more elaborate, considering you showed me a video where it shows the difference between one of these sorority videos in 2014 as opposed to 2024.
Do you have that one?
Yeah, so it's like
They
nowadays...
compared the 2024 TikTok to a video that they made pre-TikTok, and the difference in just like the sincerity is very striking.
This was my point to you. I said they seem more awkward in 2014, which is far more endearing than now, where every one of these girls has grown up making TikToks in her bedroom on her phone.
Right.
So here's the 2014 one. Love that song. Can't play it though, sorry. The camera, like, she doesn't even know how to follow them with the camera.
Shitty camera quality. Yeah. And they're just being goofy.
Like, again, this is more endearing because it's just like friends having fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we go to 2024. There's like it's like a bunch of Terminators, a bunch of pink dressed Terminators. There's a bunch of T-800s in the background that are about to kill you.
Yeah. There are
as they
snipers
do a
on the
dance
roof.
routine.
Yeah, they're doing like full gymnastics routines.
All of these girls have grown up making TikToks in their bedroom.
They spent hours, I mean, I'm sure days planning this. And they all look like a carbon copy of each other. And most people enjoy conformity. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. I think what people were mad at is the idea that their parents are paying for this. And the idea that they're sexualizing themselves for men.
I didn't find that one to be sexualized.
Some of them were, some of them weren't.
The first one, I guess, that we watched at the very beginning of this segment was, I guess, but for the most part, this is an issue, much like some of the other things we've talked about, where you were just never. It's like Harrison Butker giving his speech to a Christian college or to a Catholic college. You, who is not a Catholic, me, who is not a Catholic, was not meant to watch that speech.
Right.
And certainly an atheist who has a grudge against Catholicism was never meant to be witness to that speech. As a dude who is not in a sorority, this was just never made for dudes to watch. This was for women.
It is objectively the reason why they made it is to advertise to girls who want to be in their sorority. That is objectively made for women to watch it and think like they're so cool, I want to be in their club.
Yeah.
Didn't really work on me, but
I just can't see you maybe in Skull and Bones, but not in
Someone asked me one time, they were like, you seem like you were in a sorority in college.
You do not seem like you were in a sorority.
Why? In college. Like, what on earth would give you that vibe? Just absolutely not.
Dustin the Wind says, I'm not Catholic. I had no problem with the speech. No, obviously, and I'm not a Catholic either, and I had no problem with the speech. But I'm saying that there is a certain amount of people who will have a problem with it who were just never meant to see it,
right?
Because they're not the target audience for that. In fact, 90% of the problems on the internet is stuff being created for somebody, and then a bunch of people who would never have seen it before coming in and being like, I don't like this.
Yeah, what people didn't understand about the Harrison Butker speech is that the women in the audience who were graduating from Benedictine totally agreed with everything he was saying. Mm-hmm. The women on the internet, however, were very angry about it.
Yeah.
But I guess this is just another example of, things reaching the audience they were not intended to reach.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.